Morning, Michael.
Morning, Robin. I'm expecting a lot of ranting this week and an explanation of why you've got a prison shirt on.
I'm
Yeah,
inside today.
yeah, it does look like you're inside. You got an old
I'm on.
ball and
Yeah,
chain
no,
around you.
I'm on home release. I've got the old ankle bracelet on. You
Oh,
know.
she let you off, has she?
Yeah, they felt. Yeah, they felt I was taking up too much space inside. Um,
Right,
what is that
rant,
picture?
rant. Oh, this picture behind us. It's just a little one.
Ranting about something. Yeah,
It's a
why?
little one of Haaland. Look, a
Oh,
cartoon character,
baby Haaland,
baby Haaland. Because
baby Haaland.
I just
You know
thought he
what?
acted like a baby at the weekend. And the other one that I liked of Haaland was the headline of that. Haaland uses a ball as a weapon. How is it a
Okay.
weapon? They've just done knife amnesties with zombie
I
knives,
know, I know,
and you're
I
talking
know,
about a
I know.
ball as a
That's a
weapon.
little extreme. However, he did throw it at the back of his head. And as I was saying to you earlier, if that were you or me, we'd have turned around and decked him,
Yeah,
and then we'd have got sent off.
yeah.
But he got nothing for it. He didn't get booked, anything like that. They could book him retrospectively after the game. They didn't.
He was a little twat, a little
And
kid.
then
He
also,
acted like a
it was
spoilt
that young
child. He was
young
pathetic.
Arsenal player thrown in at the deep end, in the back to back, wall to wall defensive play, and Haaland goes up to him. Who are you? I mean, it's like you started somewhere, you
Yeah.
Norwegian tree trunk.
Tree,
Anyway, I mean, you know
Norwegian
what?
what?
Tree trunk.
Tree
He,
trunk.
he's from Norway, right? And he
Yeah.
looks like a tree trunk.
I
I
think
mean, he's
that's
so
fair
big.
on tree trunks, to be
When he
honest.
runs into people, he knocks them over just
Uh,
because of the sheer size of him. But he does it on purpose. He
yeah.
is he isn't arrogant.
Oh,
And that's because
yeah,
he's probably such a great goal scorer.
yeah.
He is a bit of an arrogant idiot.
Well, his
That's all
stats
I'm
are
going to say
70.
about it.
I just saw his stats before, 73 goals in 71 games. So, yeah, he can score a goal. But he is an arrogant prat. And he didn't
Yes,
have to do that. And
100
it was
goals in
just,
100 games for City, something
yeah,
like that. I
yeah.
mean, it is remarkable. No one else has ever done that. It's remarkable.
But he
But
is, I mean, when he walked off, although that little picture behind is a good representative, when he walks off and he takes the hair out of the ponytail, you just look at the head and go, who actually said that looks good? I mean, I might be bald, but bugger me. Thank God I am for that fact if I had
he
hair like
honestly, he looks like a Barbie doll. I bet there's a bit missing down below.
that.
I bet it's
It's,
just smooth.
I mean, his girlfriend can't look at roll over in the morning and go, "Oh, your hair's nice, darling."
No, she just looks at his bank balance. I don't think
Yeah,
she looks at him.
no,
Which is probably true of most footballers. But as
yeah.
you brought that up, it was a fascinating game,
It was a good
ruined,
game. I thought it
ruined by
wasn't a bad game.
Trossard's stupidity. The first half was outstanding. I mean, City started really well. Haaland scored an excellent goal, and they dominated. Then Arsenal fought back, but here's the thing that made me laugh. Walker was complaining that the ref hadn't allowed him to get back to set up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, if you conceded a free kick, why should you then be allowed to go back and go, I'm not quite ready yet. Hang on a minute. Well, yeah, no, I'm ready now. Let's
Isn't
go.
isn't that called the quick free kick or something when lots of teams do the quick one? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but of course, he complains. But anyway, it's a fantastic goal from California
Well,
or
I'll
whatever.
give him credit first. I'll give him credit. I did see that goal, and from the left foot, the way it swung in, it did everything it wasn't really meant to do.
Yeah, but
It
he's a
wasn't really.
talented, he's a young, talented Italian footballer. What do you expect?
Well,
And also, so then Arsenal go 2-1 up, and that was quite funny because everyone knows we're really good at free kicks, corners, and all that kind of stuff. So they put Doku to mark Gabriel for one corner, and Gabriel gets away from him, but heads past the goal. The second time they go, Arsenal are going to do exactly the same move, which they did. This time we'll put Walker, proper defender. He left Walker for
he
dead
did.
and buried it. So
And
we're
Walker was
about to,
behind him.
I know,
Even when he
we're
got to,
about
even
to,
when he got to him, he didn't go in
well,
front of him. He went behind him.
we get to half time, almost half time. And Trossard, who'd already been booked earlier in the match for shirt pulling, fair enough, does the most stupid thing. First of all, he fouls one of their players, but the ref, to give Oliver some credit, the ref goes, you know what? We're nearly half time. I'm trying to calm everything down. It's getting a little bit out of hand. I'll let that go. So what does Trossard do? Kick the ball away. The ref had no choice but to send him off. Trossard, absolute idiot. And I wouldn't mind, but that happened to Rice. I mean, 2 weeks before. Have they not learnt their lesson?
But but what a result he's had. He missed the game last night. That's it. His red card.
He misses tonight's game.
Tonight's game. That's what he misses. Because I was looking at putting him into my team. And I go, oh, because you've got a good run of 3 games coming up. And I thought, oh, I'll put him in. Then I read that he's missing it midweek. I went, yeah.
I know.
Did you watch any of the matches last night?
Well, I just wanted to finish on the City thing. So second half, I mean, it's Arsenal backs to the wall. All it was wave after wave of City attacks, which if you're a City fan, you're probably kind of enjoying that, but getting frustrated because you're not scoring. If you're a neutral, you've gone, this game has been ruined, from quite an exciting game to a dull game. If you're an Arsenal fan, you're hiding behind the sofa. I had my lucky hat on.
Did you have it on for the first goal, though?
Yeah, no, I did. I wore it throughout the match and I didn't take it off. So, I mean, we didn't lose. It was gutting when they gave 7 minutes extra time and we've only got 10 men. And then we get
at that and go, where did the 7 come from, to be honest?
Well, yeah, but they also then gave another 2 after that. And of course, they scored in the 2. But here's the thing that made me laugh about the whole thing. Afterwards, 3 or 4 City players, Arsenal employed the dark arts.
Yeah. What dark arts are what?
I wonder where Arteta learnt the dark arts.
Yeah, but dark arts of what? What, a
just,
goalie catching the ball and hitting the ground, or what?
Time wasting. We don't do what City do, rotational fouling, so they don't get booked. No, but here's a stat for you. Michael Oliver has given, in his games he's refereed against Arsenal, 7 red cards, more than any other team he's ever refereed against. Tottenham is the next with 5. Guess how many red cards he's given to City?
2.
0.
Ah, right. Is that because Arsenal are just dirty bastards?
Obviously. and City aren't. So this dark art. So what I think's happened is Arsenal have got under City's skin because that's 4 games now they haven't beaten us. So I think they're getting a little bit,
I think it happens with the fans as well, because I think you and James, although he's not a City fan, we're having a right old banter about some bollocks, weren't you?
He's a Spurs fan. He just likes to have banter purely for the sake of having banter.
I'm not even sure it's banter, to be honest. But
well, yeah, he doesn't really understand football, so it makes it. So we did that. We did Trossard. We did the dark arts.
Mind you, Trossard. There was a picture I saw of Trossard. Is he evil or something? His eyes were like just.
Yeah, I know.
He got the red card.
There's a referee in Europe who looks like his older brother. It's brilliant because we've had him a couple of times in our games. You're like, why is Trossard?
He's a bit like Robbie Williams as well. And Robbie Williams is on the pitch. You'd be going, which one's which? Whatever.
And the only thing I want to finish on with Michael Oliver is recently he was paid 20 grand by the owners of Man City to go and referee a game in the Middle East. So I'm not saying that's a bribery. It's like Starmer's clothing allowance, isn't it? It's like, and I was listening to him this morning on the radio trying to justify, well, in the run-up to the election, and we're the opposition, I mean, people wanted to give me clothes because I didn't have time to go and buy clothes. Oh, get over yourself. You're a multi-millionaire.
What I don't get is
who can afford your own clothes.
Yeah, well, that's what. He can get it, but I just don't get how. I could get it if some clothes franchise sponsored the Labour company and they give him some suit, but it's some bloke going like, "Oh, here's £500,000 and 2 suits." It just doesn't make sense. If Specsavers were sponsoring them, I get it. But some bloke going, here's £500,000 and a pair of glasses. It just doesn't. I don't get it.
It wasn't actually £500,000, but I like
whatever it was.
You're bigging it up, but
it just seems ridiculous. And what else can I do to you? Oh, a pair of glasses.
But I tell you, at the same time, I'll take the old age pensioners' winter fuel allowance away. Well, I've got spectacles that probably cost more than the fuel allowance.
Oh yeah, you won't get that this year, will you?
No, I won't get it this year. No, no, no.
Oh,
And
bless.
you know what? And Michael, you might have to see me wearing some heavy clothing as we get towards the real
You'll
winter.
be having your old Arsenal shirt from 1902 on or something, won't you? It'll be a real
But
thick, heavy
give
cotton.
Starmer a little bit of credit,
Oh,
and I'm not
yeah.
saying this because I'm an Arsenal fan, but he's defending being invited to watch the games now from the director's box, which, if you're invited, there is no price. There's not. You can't buy a ticket in the director's box, and he's quite right. He cannot sit in the stands with his son, because what would happen is they'd have to clear out some seats around him to put in his security detail, and that would really upset a lot of fans. And I think he's done the sensible thing. Is, look, I can't sit in those season tickets now. I'm Prime Minister, but thank you, Arsenal, for letting me watch from a box.
He could
No
put his
big.
kids in there though. Could put his kids in there.
No, his son goes with him. He's only takes his son to the football, and his son goes with him.
I've got no problem with that. If he's not paying for
Yeah.
that and
I would
stuff.
do. I would do that as well. I mean, and again, I've been often given tickets or asked to go. I mean, it's although the thing is, Arsenal have never asked me for anything in return,
Yeah.
other than my undying love for the team. But I wonder if we get any more of these silly sendings off, that Starmer's going to be asked quietly, could you have a word with the refereeing organisation and tell them to pick on someone else?
You know how
Like
to do
maybe
it.
Spurs or something.
Yeah, you were in charge of the CPS. You know how to do offences. Oh no, you don't, because you let the other football owner off, didn't you? Oh, that's a different story.
Yeah. Oh, Al Fayed. No, I have to tell you.
Oh,
True
you got
story.
built up by him.
Yes. I turned him down. No.
Oh,
I worked at an advertising agency. We did his advertising. And there was a lot of rumors about what was going on. I can't, verify any of it because I don't honestly know. But there was a lot of rumors, and it seems to have been come out in the papers. But the one thing I do know, he'd often rip out a picture of a lingerie model who are better built than, say, normal models, right? Who are clothes horses, and he would send it to the creative director saying, "I want this woman in my ads," and we'd have to say to him, "It's not about the model; it's about the clothes, and you're not meant to really notice the model. You're meant to notice the clothes." So and I think the creative director said, if you want to date her, just call her, but she's not going to be in any of the ads. unless we're doing lingerie ads, there could be a slight, but no.
But it's one of those things you look at it now and go, Michael Jackson was a fan of Fulham.
Well, was he? But he got a statue.
Yeah, exactly. But you look at it and you look at like Michael Jackson's songs, Bad, Thriller, Beat It, and you go, didn't notice that, did we? And he's come out and he's put a bloody statue of him outside his football ground.
I just wonder if the truth is that everybody who is wealthy enough to be corrupt is corrupt in whatever way, and some ways, multiple ways. I mean, you never hear you don't often hear of somebody who is like unbelievably wealthy and famous who's not done anything wrong.
No,
I mean, most of the rap artists are going to jail now, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got to be dodgy.
P. Diddy's going to go in with R. Kelly.
P. Diddley, P. Diddle Diddle. Who is it that said the same? Or I don't know, it's a film or someone said it, that you know what God thinks of money by looking at the people he gave it to, and you think, I think it was pointed towards Trump, but I can't remember who said it.
Yeah,
but
you
know what he thought of money by looking at who he gave it.
Trump doesn't really have any money. He tells you he does, but he's never ever released his taxes, which they're all meant to do, all the presidents, to prove whether he has any money or no money. I mean, he'll tell you he's a multi-billionaire, and everybody, continues to push that story, but who knows?
He's got more than me, I reckon, still. Probably in
Yeah,
his
no, he's got you. Well, no, because what he does is he has somebody take a shot at him or not take a shot at him, and then he sends out a little note saying, "Oh, I need some more money for my campaign," and all these idiots, followers, and they are all idiots, and it's half of America, so that's what 150 million idiots all send him some money, even if it's only $10. That's a lot of money. See, you
It's
couldn't do that.
it's a bit about all those guns in America. Two fucking can't shoot straight.
I know, I know, I know. The last one poking his little barrel out of the out of the trees on the golf course. I mean, he poor bugger didn't even get the chance to shoot it.
No, just to think of all those people though. Mind you,
But anyway,
talking about he does going back to football. He's done a they do all the fan stuff where the people pay money in or whatever. Wimbledon have done quite well, haven't they? That bloke started off the fund to get for them for their pitch, which was nice. What 10 grand? He got it
yeah, they
up.
were supposed to play last night against
Yeah,
Newcastle.
Newcastle. And Newcastle have given them Newcastle have
It
given them
looked like a
15 grand.
beach with sand dunes. I
Yeah,
mean, it was
yeah.
completely ruined. I mean, yeah, that's who was it told me? I think when I was up at Burnley, I think the owner told me that every time they lay a pitch, it's like 5 million.
Well,
So
they said that a easy description of it. Someone said was it's all sand underneath it. The whole place is based on sand around it, and the water
yeah,
just got underneath and just pushed it up, pushed the sand up. But it's nice. Newcastle put 15 grand in to their kitty, which was nice of them, and then they're going to
it
play
was.
away next week at Newcastle, so they'll get more gate
So they'll
receipts.
get more. They'll get more gate money for that.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll do the pitch for them.
That's not bad.
I
Yeah,
like to
no,
see what. Yeah,
they said the guy was trying to raise about 100,000. Now
yeah,
he was starting off with like 10,
yeah.
and then he went to 50, and now he's going for 100.
Hmm. So listener, put your hand in your pocket and give them some money. We have.
Yes,
We've given them all the
yes,
proceeds of this podcast this week.
yeah, exactly. And don't forget, you tell your friends to subscribe to any podcast you listen to. You can find Michael and I here most weeks, and talking politics, drivel, football, fantasy football.
Oh,
Mike.
fantasy football.
Talk
Right.
about fantasy
Quick
football.
one on that.
I
I've
think.
looked at our team briefly, and I don't think there's actually a lot to do with it.
Well, I made one change for you, but as I said
Oh,
previously,
have you? Okay.
I've got to stay away from this because I didn't make any transfers. That's down to you. I've got to stay away from it
Oh,
because I
you've put Raya in goal, haven't you?
will be playing the Diamond Dogs soon. Yes, I put Rare in goal. I think.
Yeah.
If
That's the
I
only change I would have made. The rest of it, I think we've only got one sub, and you wait until we've got a couple. Yeah, that's about the best team we've got out of all of it without making loads of subs and you losing us 400 points again or something.
Yeah, I mean, I put Dibbling in. I've got him as well. He was on my bench last week. Got 10 points. He was on our bench as well, which is sad. Yeah, we've not got a bad team. I'm kind of thinking, why wouldn't you leave Haaland as captain? It seems that he scored 10 goals in 5 games. So
yeah, and Newcastle aren't brilliant at the minute either. So
no. And then we've got, if we were to make a transfer, we've only got one this week, but we've got 4.2 million in the bank. We still haven't played our wild card yet, and a lot of people are talking about wild cards. But
yeah, we haven't played
I'd
because we
think
spent
about
46 points instead of playing it, didn't we?
Yes, we did. I did that. The only thing I'd think about doing with our money, but maybe we wait till next week,
Is it to
is
Wimbledon FC?
look at these defenders and potentially upgrade because we do have quite a lot of money.
And we've got quite a lot of shit defenders.
Yeah.
Well, I
Exactly.
say sorry, Mr. Defender. I say shit. You're obviously a much better footballer than me.
You're obviously a brilliant footballer.
In the scheme of fantasy football, you're shit.
So this weekend, for all of our listeners and all the players in the USA UK league, soccer league, of which there's almost 90 players. It's amazing. We have Newcastle v Man City is the 12:30 kickoff.
3-1.
For our friends outside the UK, that's
Three,
12:30
that's 3-1.
p.m.
3-1
British
Man
summer.
City. Go on, what are you going to put Man City as winning at? I'm going 3-1.
I think they're going to be very angry, but they don't have Rodri. Big, their win rate without Rodri is not so good. I think this game could be quite interesting. I'm going to go for another draw.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it could be a 1-1.
And the big 3 o'clock games, obviously Arsenal Leicester. So I'm going to put Leicester as a 4-0 win on that one.
Yes. Brentford, West Ham, well, they're both pretty poor at the moment.
A draw.
Chelsea, I think, will beat Brighton. Chelsea, I think, coming up on the outside now. The new coach has settled in, and they seem to be playing some good football. They beat the mighty Barrow last night, wasn't it? 5-0
Yeah.
in the Carabao Cup. Who did you play? Did Villa play?
Villa played Wickham, and I tell you, I do a little competition with a neighbour on Super
Oh,
Six.
Wickham Wanderers.
Yeah, and we were how the hell we got 2 goals, I don't know. But my neighbour had 2-1 down as for 5 points in Super Six, and Wickham scored. And oh no, he had 2-0, sorry, he had 2-0. I've never cheered so much when Wickham scored to knock his 5 points out in the 94th minute or whatever it was. I was jumping with joy to knock him off. But I tell you what, I watched it and Villa were shit. To be honest, they weren't very good. And they didn't put out the first team, but you still had Wendy, you still had Durant, yeah, had some very good players in there, but they didn't do brilliantly. And
Well,
Wickham,
there's
a draw would have
always
been better. A draw would have been better.
there's always what do you call it? Slip ups, banana skins in these competitions, and so far all the big teams have got through. So I'm assuming that Arsenal will lose to Bolton tonight. Apparently, we might have to play a 16-year-old in goal.
Really?
Yeah, but we've told the ref no extra time because he's got school tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we got to make sure the kid gets home, gets to bed, or goes home, finishes his homework.
That's true. That's true.
Because he'll be running, he'll be leaving. The school bell will go this afternoon, and he'll be running out through the gates, jumping. Someone will pick him up, take him, so he can have a bit of practice before tonight.
That'd be amazing if they do play a 16-year-old. That'd be brilliant. That was like the Liverpool one the other week where the lad went back into school the next day, didn't he? And
that was brilliant. It was
scored
cheered
on it. Yeah.
There's nothing better than that. Yeah, Arsenal did that with Namweri 2 seasons ago. He was 15 and he came on for like 15 minutes against. Can't remember who it was, but everyone was chanting, "He's got school in the morning." What else we got? Any other big games? They're all hard to call. Everton Palace, hard to call. Forest Fulham, hard to call. Wolves, Liverpool. I think Liverpool should be able to edge that. Wolves have played well without getting any points.
Yeah.
Ipswich, Villa. I think Villa are going to be too strong for Ipswich.
They should do.
And I'm sure. I don't know with this one. I think I'd want to draw.
And City Spurs.
Yeah. And then Monday night, I mean, who the hell cares about Bournemouth Southampton on the Monday?
Every single one of their fans that you just alienated.
Like, could you have picked a worse fixture to get people dashing home from? Oh, I must get home to watch Bournemouth v Southampton. Rishi Sunak might be in the stadium.
Hey, it's a derby. It's a bit of a derby.
It is a derby. You are right. It is a South Coast derby. And the other thing we need to just only briefly talk about, as you know, in our fantasy league, we also create this European Cup. And of course, it took me a nightmare to try and put together the format as we've got. And, I have my spreadsheet here. So I've got, I think we talked about this last week.
That looks really interesting.
All the players, right? And then I've got all the results from last week and who got the points, bonus points, etc. And under each one, I've got the table as look at I'm in second place in my league. So I'll probably qualify. And then this week we got matchups, and the way I had to do it, certain players have to sit out. So anyway, fascinating stuff.
Sounds interesting. All anyone wants to know is have they got a trophy at the end of it?
Yeah, someone will get a trophy. Yeah. Well, what still gets me is the 2 winners from last year. Right.
Well
Still
done,
haven't
Ronaldo.
picked up
It
their
changed
trophies.
spring
I bought them these amazing trophies. I've got them engraved, and the ungrateful little buggers have not picked them up yet.
Did you get them engraved with a little plaque that you stuck on? Was it a little plaque so you can peel that off for this year?
Well, if they don't pick them up, they are gonna be swapped out. Yes, definitely. I'll take a picture of them. I'll post them on the group.
Why don't you name and shame them?
Always, don't you forget, you know.
Name and shame them. Name and shame them. Go on.
I have named and shamed both JP and Frankie. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that.
Are they in England though? Are they in England or are they part of the American contingent?
No, they're both in the UK, so they have less of an excuse. JP's down in Bournemouth. Shout out to Bournemouth.
Big Monday night game for them.
He's an Everton fan. Monday night game for them. And Frankie is a Spurs fan, so I don't really care whether he comes and collects it or not. I might just hit him over the head with it. It's quite heavy.
Oh, bless
anyway,
him.
Michael.
Right, that's about it.
Drivel from me today. What about you?
Drivel. My daughter's here today, so I'm going to see if I can get a better picture off her. See if I can get her to do a new picture. My phone's pinging away, so I think I might actually be required to do some work. It's actually 8 o'clock at night when we're doing this, so I'm only joking.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Employer, this is an evening. Oh, it's a bit dark outside, Michael.
yeah, I can see that. Unfortunately, I can see that's a lamp he's got off there. It's like a studio he's in, and it's a big lamp putting the daylight in. It's all fake. Yeah.
Anyway,
see, look, I've got a light on as well. Look, it's dark. See, I've got to put a light.
Yes. Yeah. So it's goodbye from me, Michael.
It's goodbye from me, and I think we've both got matches we should spank the opposition on this weekend. You've got Leicester, we've got Ipswich. We should be big winners for next week.
I think you're right,
and I think you'll have less ranting about it next week than you did this week.